Hello, fabulous Cancer. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of May 2014 Love Focus. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. Well, this month, as I touched on in the general horoscope video, right in the middle of the month, you've got a full moon taking place in a part of the sky that has to do with love, the feeling of love, and especially the initial flutter of love. Now, what I find really interesting about this full moon is a few things. One is the fact that this particular full moon is very close to Saturn in the sky, and it is speaking in harmony with Jupiter in your sign. And so think about this, with Jupiter being a planet of inspiration, of expansion, of healing, especially in your sign as well, of allowing closures, allowing waters to flow, whether that's flow in, but mainly to flow out to create space, allowing yourself to see a higher vision for your life, being met by or speaking in supreme harmony with not only the planet of stability that is asking you to take the dream and ground it into reality, but also with this full moon, which is bringing emotions to the surface. The moon being your ruling planet. Moon is actually a luminary, but really your representative in the sky. Being so intimately involved in this does suggest that you are really having a moment of honesty and a moment of understanding of just what it is that you want where it comes to the experience of love. Now, this is distinct and different from the experience of partnership, and that is going to be highlighted a little bit further down the road, and I'll be here to talk about it then, not next month, but the month after, in the month of July. However, right now, it is about what it is ultimately that you want to feel in terms of how loved you want to feel and the joy that you want to feel in the company of another. Any attractions that do come up at this time are likely to be those that really help you to see what it is ultimately that you're going for. And I don't see, I don't think that you do love lightly anyways. I don't think you do flirtation very lightly anyways. It has been said that Cancers in the early part of life, some cancers out there may kind of, one of the masks that they wear to hide their sensitivity can be being the party person, okay? And that's a way to hide the sensitivity. But ultimately, what it is that cancers are going for is really meaningful connection with another person. And you do love like a Scorpio, because the part of the sky that has to do with that initial sort of bond that you make with a person, that initial attraction that you have with a person is done as a Scorpio. And so you add these elements together, you've got these sort of shifting waters within you. You're learning about yourself where it comes to life and to love through the emotions. You're learning to separate fear from intuition as a part of your life journey. And you add to this the fact that it is really your attractions that show you to love what it is that people normally would reject, to love the nitty-gritty and to see the beauty that lies just under the surface, especially in the context of love. And you add this element of just grounding that energy. And I don't think that it's not only that now you're not going to take love lightly, but I also think that the likelihood of you understanding love, not just in terms of, okay, is this somebody I can really bond with? Is this somebody I can really feel like I could merge with on a level of emotion? It's not just a question of that, but it's also a question of, does this person make sense? Is this a practical choice? And does this person really represent some sort of stability for me? Are they really going to be there? Are they showing me through their life that they actually have that ability or are in that space right now where they want to commit to a bigger picture? Because that is really what you're going to be thinking right about now. What I also really find interesting about this whole configuration for you is the fact that there's a very deep connection to self with this. Because Jupiter is in your sign, you are connected to a more inspired vision of your life, which suggests to me that you're very, very unlikely to settle for just anybody or just any situation. Those of you who are in an established bond are likely to have the experience of feeling on the one hand, more supported than you have in a while. And while there is sort of this call to have fun, I do think that And I'll be honest, I do think that with this configuration, in the context of a committed relationship, the chance of actually having a serious conversation around children, how do children actually fit into this bond? Whether you have children right now, if you do have children right now, it's going to be how is it that we can actually continue to nurture our bond and make sure that we have something that is ours outside of our definition as parents. If you don't have children, there's likely to be, and likely sort of brought up by your partner, a conversation around children, a conversation around, is this something that we actually want? Do we see this as part of the vision for our lives together? Those of you who have somebody in your sphere, I do think that it's likely that a conversation around children is going to come up as well. But what I am actually seeing, considering the position of Mars, I do think you're going to be asking yourself also whether or not you do want to have kids is this person going to make a good parent? Is this the kind of person that I'd actually feel like I could trust my kid to? And whatever your answers are will determine how you proceed from there. But it looks like whatever you decide is really grounded in an understanding of where it is ultimately that the two of you are going and where it is ultimately that you feel your future lies, your stability lies as well. You add to this the fact that Saturn is ultimately the ruling planet of your opposite sign, which has to do with partnership and committed relationships. And so I do think that there's an element here of you sort of saying, can I really commit to this person? And I think that a lot of you are going to find that that commitment does deepen as well. Those of you who are open to love, I do think that the likelihood of you actually meeting somebody who ends up being a strong contender is certainly there. I do think also, as I see this, that there is an element here of really looking at the other person as they are, regardless of your relationship status right now, and being able to make a choice that you feel comfortable with. Being able to make a choice that is really focused on ultimately the bigger picture of your life. For some of you, that is going to mean moving forward in the bond. For others of you, it's going to be choosing to meet different types of people, not necessarily going to where you usually go to meet people, but actually thinking about expanding your sphere so you can meet the type of people who likely would be more solid. And for others of you, I do think that there is going to be sort of an honest exchange that allows you to make a decision as to where it is that this bond is going to go or not go. But it seems that you're very much at peace with the decision. Regardless of what it is that you choose, where it is that you are now, one thing is sure, you're going to get a lot of insight into who it is ultimately that you are hoping to commit to. And with that clarity, you propel yourself in that direction. Thank you for watching. It'll be a great month. Be fabulous and enjoy.